is looking really good because it's already dropped to 4.5.
Wow, so you got on it early. You got on it before the injury.
Correct.
Wow.
The hyperextended knee of Travis Kelce has him probably in Chiefs fans a little bit nervous. Now, this is believed that the ACL is still intact. There's a lot of swelling. Does Kansas City in the first game of the year try to manage it and go out there and play him, or just say, hey, this is week one, it's a long season? Because without Travis Kelce, that is, I mean, this Chiefs offense, and I know Pat Mahomes is the offense, still got to have dudes to throw it to. He makes other people look great, but Kelce's his guy. And Kelce doesn't miss games. He's been very reliable. He's there week in, week out, goes out there and produces. I feel like Kansas City is in a little bit of trouble opening up the season. And I'm going to tell you this. Coming off a Super Bowl win, you know what I'm saying? You're out there vacationing. You're the dude. Are you putting in just as much work as all those other teams?
Probably not. You're probably partying a little too much.
Well, I'm sure they're putting in the work.
Oh, I don't know.
But what I'm saying is it's just, again, I can't remember what boxer said it. You know, it's hard getting up at 5 a.m. and going running when you're sleeping in silk sheets. Kansas City's been champs a few times. They're ballers. They run in the whole thing. Eric Bieniemy, by the way, is in Washington.
Yep.
So there's just a lot of things for me that are pointing towards the Detroit Lions getting this. And plus, Dan Campbell's crazy. I think Aiden Hutchinson's a real deal. That Lions defense was much improved. 6.5 points feels good. I'm not saying Kansas City ain't going to win this junt. I just think it's going to be very, very tight. I don't think it's going to be a touchdown game either way. Now, we got a lot of football to talk about. 12 o'clock, Russell Copeland's first appearance for this basically NFL year. It's the months. Copeland will join us every single Wednesday at 12 o'clock. We're going to talk all things NFL. We got to talk about that Browns-Bengals game. Week 1, Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow. Deshaun Watson, does he ever turn back to being the quarterback? Get back on that trajectory that he was on is one of those dudes. What he did with Clemson was awesome. When he came into Houston and he took him to the playoffs and he had the Kansas City Chiefs down 21 points at halftime. Deshaun Watson was being that dude. Then he got crazy on Instagram, started going out there getting massages, bringing little bitty rags, asking for happy endings. Well, is this going to be a happy ending in Cleveland? Or is, for the Browns, that is, because they broke the bank to bring Deshaun Watson to that organization to be the person that lifts them out of quarterback purgatory. Baker Mayfield did take him to the playoffs and win one game. But come on, Baker Mayfield has been fighting with Kyle Trask. Yes, he's going to start for the Bucs this year in week 1 against the Vikings. But, I mean, you don't sit there and think of Baker Mayfield being that dude anymore.
Yeah.
So Deshaun Watson got paid to be that dude, opening up the season at home against Cincinnati. Call me crazy. Cincinnati minus 2.5 feels like a trap.
Really?
Kind of like the Browns at home in week 1. I like the Bengals going forward. But, man, Joe Burrow, and I know maybe he doesn't need to practice. Maybe he doesn't need to practice. He just returned to practice last Wednesday. He's been practicing for a week.
That's true.
My man's had a little calf strain. Speaking of somebody who's been living a pretty good life, I'm sure Joe Burrow, life been pretty good to him.
Oh, absolutely it has.
So, I don't know, man. This Browns team, their defense is real. And, again, if Deshaun Watson, is going to do it, he finally got back on the field last year, went 3-3 in the 6 games that he got to play. Wasn't great, but don't forget he's got Chubby Time in the back to hand the ball off. Amari Cooper's a real deal number 1. Elijah Moore, Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku is his tight end, and they got a pretty good offensive line. Jedrick Wills is not a joke at left tackle.
Right.
Plus, don't forget Myles Garrett. The only thing is he's been a little banged up. Zadarius Smith. They got a good defense, too. So, I think that's a good game. I'm leaning that way. And we're talking a lot of NFL, and I'm just fired up if you can't tell. I'm also fired up for this Bears-Packers game. Which quarterback do you believe in most? Week 1
Probably
and
Justin
going
Fields.
forward.
I actually want to see what Justin Fields' player prop is for passing plus rushing yards, because I think that's something that you could probably get a pretty good number on, because it wasn't super high last year, but now you actually have a receiver in Chicago that he's going to be targeting a lot. They looked good together in preseason. You know he's going to run the ball. I would maybe look at that as a player prop this weekend.
What, Fields over in rushing?
Passing plus
passing.
rushing.
Plus
no,
rushing.
yeah, both of them together.
Oh, okay, together,
so,
combined.
You're thinking probably maybe 250 in the air, 40 or so yards on the ground, so about somewhere around 293 or so, maybe. Let's see what it's at.
Crazily, I'm kind of looking at Jordan Love having a better game.
Love Love?
One thing, I love Love. Everybody loves some Love.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants a little loving in their life.
I feel that.
Love's got it. And I feel like he's going to
What's
reward.
love got to do with
Is
this?
that Tina Turner?
John, I'm embarrassed to say this. I'm not familiar with who sings that song.
901-360-8255. Was that Tina Turner?
No, that was Bryant Diggs. It was Tina Turner. Now, I don't sound like Tina Turner.
Damn,
but,
don't play games with me.
But it was originally Tina Turner.
I think Tina Turner, did she pass this year?
Oh, God. John, let's not kill anybody.
I'm not trying to, but I'm pretty sure she did. Because, like, my girl likes Tina Turner.
Yes. Unfortunately, she passed away
R.I.P. Tina.
in May.
Lady's legs look good from beginning to end. That means her whole life.
Right.
That she was known for shaking them legs, man.
Good for her.
And singing, too, of course. But R.I.P.
Unfortunately, passed away in Switzerland.
But, well, man, that might have been good.
Good place to pass away, I guess.
By the way, one quick weird question since we said something kind of morbid. Ted Williams, since his head is actually frozen in a bat to be so he can, like, in the future be brought back, when his birthday comes around, do we still celebrate it? Like his head's still here.
That's a good question. I would say no.
Huh.
But I mean I'm not the what do they call that? Chirotherapy or whatever? Cryotherapy.
How the hell I knew that?
I don't know. Well, cryotherapy is for humans like that are living to go and it's rehab and it gets your muscles. I don't know what they call.
It's got to be. If you're freezing
something.
ahead, it's still your rehab.
Is it rehab?
Yeah, man. You're just like rehabbing your brain so it can come back one day.
Sure.
Now, Green Bay Packers, the reason I kind of like a little bit of Love is because, I mean, his offensive line is still very intact and they're good. You got Christian Watson coming off last year. My man's been putting in that work. I mean, you still got to hand the ball off to Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. And it's all, for me, one thing. I just feel like that offensive line for the Packers right now is much better than the Bears. And I think Love's actually, I mean, I can't go against a Green Bay quarterback. They went out and got Brett Favre and took him from Atlanta, put him in, next thing you know, Hall of Famer. You got Aaron Rodgers, you draft him, he sits behind Favre. Bing, bang, boom, Hall of Famer. You had Jordan Love. You drafted him when you had Rodgers, sat behind him for 3 years. Man, he just might be that next dude.
How about this, John, when you're looking at games this weekend? I saw this. I forgot where I saw this. Since 2016, 27 quarterbacks did not take a snap in preseason. Those quarterbacks averaged only 19.5 points per game, had an EPA of only .03, and a success rate of only 46.9% in Week 1. Those quarterbacks who started Week 1 versus quarterbacks who did play in the preseason were 8-11 against the spread to the closing line and lost by an average of 5 points. So not a lot of, obviously it's only back to 2016, so not a huge sample size, but maybe something to keep an eye on. These quarterbacks a little rusty that didn't play in preseason.
That's a pretty good note.
Which would make you feel better about your Lions and Chiefs pick because Patrick Mahomes didn't play in preseason.
Jared Goff play a little bit.
Did he? I can't remember. I
saw Desmond Ridder for the Falcons this year. I saw some Bryce Young, and they play each other. I'm kind of interested to see. I feel like the Falcons, I mean, you got Drake London. You just drafted Bijan Robinson. Don't forget, they still have Kyle Pitts. Like, they got some big dudes back there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, Kyle Pitts is a monster. Drake London's a monster. Bijan Robinson a beast. And you got Desmond Ridder who can run like a maniac. Just can he throw the ball to the open wide receivers? Arthur Smith's offense is going to be, I think, pretty entertaining. It's how good can that defense be? That's the big issue. But, man, I feel like Carolina's going to be trash.
Yeah, especially with that offensive line. I can't get. I want to get behind him, but I just
Can't
can't.
support, Bryce Young's a small dude. He needs to have like a pocket. He can step up and throw the ball down the field. He's got great vision, anticipation, and everything. But he can't do anything on his back. And as small as he is, man, I'm afraid he'll just get beaten down. I mean, 17 games in a season behind that offensive line. We saw what happened to David Carr when he got drafted out of Fresno State when he was with Houston. He got basically, after the first season, my man was like had happy feet for the rest of his career. Shell-shocked.
Yeah.
But NFL, all kinds of wonderful things. That starts back tomorrow. I could talk about it all deadgum day. But did you notice the AP poll coming out yesterday and all the new polls?
Oh, yeah.
So did you have any qualms, or did you find everything to just be perfect? Like, what'd you think about some crazy stuff? Like, Colorado and Duke are in the top 25.
I'm good for them.
Colorado beat TCU. Great game. TCU's fallen completely out from 17th. They're out of the poll. Duke, who beat Clemson, by the way. Somehow Clemson fell, but they fell to 25th and stayed in the top 25. If Florida State moved all the way up to number 4.
Should have been 4 to start the season. It's ridiculous that they were so low to start the year.
Oh, it's just Georgia remains number 1, by the way, 58 first place votes.
I mean, for most of these teams, they played nobodies in week 1. So, I mean, really, if you're getting upset about the AP top 25 poll in week 2, you got more things to worry about.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to worry about, especially for like maybe Ole Miss this week playing at Tulane. This weekend in college football is ridiculous. Like if I'm like the SEC, I feel like did not have a good. The start of their season has not been good. Vanderbilt could have lost to Hawaii. We saw what happened in week 1. I mean, I still can't believe some of the crazy things that went down. Like Florida was so bad against Utah. Like they looked like they didn't belong on the field.
Well, I mean, John, the SEC played 3 marquee games this week. Florida versus Utah, South Carolina versus North Carolina, LSU versus Florida State. They got rocked.
They got rocked.
I mean, none of them were close. I mean, we all thought. I mean, maybe outside of the Florida game, I think everyone was pretty sure that Utah was going to handle that game. But those other 2 games on Saturday and Sunday, everyone thought those games were going to be close.
South Carolina, man.
A lot of people did. I mean, a lot of people thought that was going to be a really back and forth game. Same thing with LSU. People were saying, and I was saying it too, that LSU Florida State week 1 was going to be one of the best games all season, and Florida State completely dominated them. So, no, it wasn't for the marquee games, not a good week for the SEC.
I mean, I'm just telling you, but this week, again, like you said, LSU just got bully whipped by Florida State. The Florida State wide receivers that Mike Norvell brought into this program are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, their wide receiving room is flat out nasty. And Jordan Travis is going to have a hell of a year. And he already put a big flag up to said, hey, look at me for Heisman. By the way, Michael Penix Jr., you watch, he will be in New York. My dude, my man throws a freaking amazing ball. Threw 5 touchdowns in the first game. His wide receiving core is awesome. Of course, Caleb Williams, already thinking of Heisman. But, man, again, LSU getting just beat the way that they did and looking embarrassingly bad. South Carolina being trash. And now we have serious, serious concern about a big game. And I think that's Nick Saban's Alabama Crimson Tide. Man, with Bryce Young last year, Texas had them on the ropes.
Yeah.
And what they struggle in last year, what Texas did that really caused Alabama fits, they kept 8 in to protect. They ran 2-man routes. They gave Quinn Ewers time to get the ball vertically down the field. And my goodness, I don't know if you know, but those 2 wide receivers for Texas, they can just flat out get open.
Yeah.
Like speed out the wazoo. So that Alabama game with their secondary kind of banged up. Now, did Jalen Milroe look really good? Threw for 3 touchdowns, ran for 2 of them. Yeah, he looked good if you just checked out the highlights. Still a little bit worried about him picking up his back foot and kind of doing that whole I'm trying to throw a dart thing. When he plants his back foot in the ground and he actually lets it rip, he throws a beautiful ball. When he doesn't, it's scary. And again, Alabama has some good wide receivers, but they don't have a Worthy on that team.
No, but I will.
Xavier Worthy is a freak.
He 100% is. But I'll say with Milroe, I mean, I was impressed just because it seemed like this whole summer that was the whole conversation of Alabama, who's going to be their starting quarterback, yada yada yada. And
it was against Middle Tennessee, and I know Texas didn't look good.
You're absolutely right. But when you look at Milroe, the knock against him was, great runner, but he can't throw the ball. I mean, you want him to actually throw the ball.
Deep balls.
I thought his arm looked good. I thought his pocket presence for the most part looked good. There were a lot of throws, like you said, but I think still young guy, doesn't have that experience yet that you really want at that high level. But I mean, I thought not a lot to take from a game against Middle Tennessee, but I thought he looked fine.
Well, I'm excited. Alabama, Texas, that's the big one, of course. Game day is going to be there. It's going to be raucous. It's going to be crazy. 6 o'clock on ESPN on Saturday. There's another game, though, that's going to be fascinating, and everybody's talking about it, and it's after, of course, Deion Sanders and Colorado went out there, took care of business, beat Texas. Did you know that before the season started, if you were about 6 months out, do you know Nebraska was a 10-point favorite over Colorado?
I believe it.
It's moved 13 points because now Colorado is a 3-point favorite over Nebraska now that the season started.
I think my brother Connor, got it during the game. He got Colorado like +7 against Nebraska during the TCU game, and he was real excited about that because he was like, "Oh, look, they're -3 now." I was like, "Oh, good for you, man."
And I have to say, man, everybody's on Colorado right now, but you give me Matt Rule +3 points.
Yeah, I would maybe have to take Nebraska.
And let's not forget, this Nebraska team went to Minnesota and controlled the game and somehow blew it in the final. If you watch that game, number one, little wide receiver from Minnesota saved that damn game. That was one of the best catches I've ever seen.
It was a great catch.
To catch the ball, to drag the foot on 4th down, to score the touchdown to tie the game, and then Nebraska is moving into field goal position, and what's his little name? Sims, the quarterback.
Jeff Sims.
Yeah. He throws a terrible ball. Yeah. It gets picked, and all of a sudden Minnesota goes down the field and kicks a dead gum field goal and wins the game.
The only thing I'll say, Nebraska couldn't move the ball. Neither team could. I mean, that game was played between the 30-yard lines.
The defenses look good, but Matt Rule, I'm telling you, you get Matt Rule in this, he's got a position, everybody's riding high.
But also Colorado's defense didn't look good against
That's
TCU.
what I was going to say. They gave up 42 points, right?
And gave up a ton of yards.
500 some odd yards.
TCU pretty much, until the last 2 minutes of the game, TCU did pretty much everything they wanted, offensively at least.
And I'm telling you, man, I think that Cornhuskers team, Matt Rule, they're going to try to get that win.
That should be a good game. But I mean, everybody's high. I mean, you look at the Colorado's team total, and I loved what I saw for Colorado on Saturday. That was incredibly fun to watch. But
I love the little quarterback.
Shedeur Sanders.
He's awesome. Deion's kid.
But
and Deion's kid's also the safety, right?
Shiloh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Except me and my brother were laughing because after the game, the reporter was on the field after the game, they're asking, and Deion standing there with Shedeur and Travis Hunter, and he goes,
my 2 kids.
Yeah, he goes, I'm proud of my son and my other son, and slapped Travis Hunter on the chest, and Connor was like, I wonder how Shiloh feels about that.
Man, Travis Hunter, though, had a chance to go to Florida State, followed Deion pretty much.
Man, he could have gone wherever he wanted.
Let me just tell you something. What Travis Hunter did, playing offense and defense, had an interception. Also, what was
no way he can keep that up.
Man, I don't know. That dude is in the best shape of anybody in college football.
Playing 140 snaps in a game is unheard of.
Was it 115 of 140, or was it?
He clocked 144 snaps, 80 on offense, 60 on defense, or 62 on defense. However the math adds up.
Holy man!
Yeah, no, it's that. I hope he keeps up that production, because if he keeps up that production, he walks into the Heisman Trophy. But that's going to be tough. That is going to be so tough.
Man, it's going to be a good game, actually, that Nebraska-Colorado
really is.
game.
And how about big noon kickoff, lucking in, going to TCU Colorado last week, and then already having scheduled Colorado at home the next week, and then you get Colorado beating TCU, and you get to go to Colorado the next week for what already was going to be a great crowd if they had lost to TCU, but now is going to be one of the most raucous environments we've seen in a while.
The Ole Miss-Tulane game, man. Ole Miss right now 7-point favorite. That's at 2:30 this Saturday on ESPN. They're down in New Orleans playing the Greenway. Willie Fritz can flat out coach. We're going to find out what Ole Miss is made of as they are on the road. But we're talking tons of college football, NFL action. Don't forget, we got Dustin Starr to talk a little wrestling, Zach Boyd to talk about the FIBA World's basketball thing. United States, man, they need a center. You know what I'm saying?
You know who they have at center right now.
Yeah, and he's a little bit he's undersized, man. He's a foe. He's a foe.
He is a 4.
Well, we're going to talk about this and so much more, but this whole hour is brought to you by the good people over at Scooters Plus. When you think UTVs, ATVs, when you think golf carts, how about those little dirt bikes, baby? I'm telling you, if you want something to get in the outdoors and have a whole lot of fun, all you have to do is go to 3425 Summer Avenue. I'm telling you right now, they have the largest showroom available. And not only do they have the largest showroom available where you can go out there and check out all their new inventory constantly coming in, they also do their parts. So if you're a gearhead and you're working on your bike, you want to keep it all, maintained, go over there. They got any parts you need. Again, from scooters to ATVs to four-wheelers, you name it, they got it. Side-by-sides, dirt bikes. Head on over to Scooters Plus, 3425 Summer Avenue. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday. Back in Two Shakes with Dustin on Sports 56 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
Now that your people are starting to return to their offices and other workplaces, it's time to think about doing something special for them. And nothing is more special than having a breakfast or lunch catered by Sunrise. Sunrise on Jefferson or Sunrise on Poplar can provide delicious, fresh food for your team that will be better than anything from anywhere else. If you've got 20 or more people, a meal from Sunrise will make everybody happy to be back at work. We always say this, but where your people are concerned, why settle when you can have Sunrise?
36,000, the number of businesses which have upgraded to the #1 cloud financial system, NetSuite by Oracle. 25, NetSuite just turned 25. That's 25 years of helping businesses streamline their finances and reduce costs, because your unique business deserves a customized solution. That's NetSuite. Learn more when you download NetSuite's popular Key Performance Indicators checklist absolutely free at netsuite.com/herd, netsuite.com/herd.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
It doesn't matter if you're at the lake, if you're hunting, fishing, playing golf, or just playing around, Scooters Plus can hook you up with the mobility that you need. Scooters Plus has the largest vehicle and parts inventory in the Mid-South and the best service department. You can choose from ATVs, UTVs, golf carts, motorcycles, dirt bikes, trikes, scooters, and even electric bikes. Come in today to start or wrap up your holiday shopping with 25% down on Christmas layaways. Scooters Plus, 3425 Summer Avenue. Call Sam at 458-8843 or go online to scootersplus.us.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Brian Dakis is hanging out with me. We got a busy show. It is a hump day in the Mid-South. And we got NFL action starting tomorrow. We got a little day baseball starting today. Busy day in the world of sports. But don't forget, man, we got wrestling coming up here. And we got Dustin Starr. Dustin, what's up, my friend?
Oh, yeah. Man, I just got a nice, fresh, tight haircut. And I'm ready for a big weekend of action. And, dude, it has been so busy the last week. It's been incredible. So just having a lot of fun and doing a lot of work. How you doing?
Man, I can't complain at all. Are you kidding me? I've had I had a birthday. I had a wonderful birthday. Went down to Ole Miss. They destroyed Mercer. It was a beautiful scene. Wasn't too hot. Got to hang with the grandkids and my kids. So, yeah, pretty good. And I think I ate steak 3 days in a row. So, yeah, I had a pretty damn good week. You might not make too much red meat, but you know what I'm saying, man? You got some good fillets and some strips. Get out of town. But tell me what you got going on in your life, because everybody's got their little head wrapped around what's going on with a little bit of football. But, man, you can't ever forget with all the new stuff coming out with wrestling. What's going on in the months over at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com?
Well, we crowned a brand new Memphis Wrestling Women's Champion on Saturday or on Friday, whichever day that you watched Memphis Wrestling. So congratulations to Mackenzie Morgan. She's the new champion. And today at noon, in about 30 minutes on Action News 5 Plus, Mackenzie Morgan and myself, we're going to be appearing on Bluff City Life with Gina Neely. She's going to bring the championship belt and, just kind of an introduction since we premiered on Action News 5 on Friday night. So now you can watch.
That's about 27 minutes from now, you're saying?
Yeah. So just a little behind the curtain, behind the scenes. We filmed it earlier, so it's going to air at noon. So.
All right. So once Dustin's off here, it's time to go and go check out Action News 5, the new home of Memphis Wrestling.
It's so cool. The studio, when we were inside there, it's the same exact studio that we wrestled in all the way back in the day. And I know it's like the old school thing to do. Oh man, this is where it all happened. Well, it was, and it looks so different. And if you go to our social media, on Memphis Wrestling social media, wherever, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all that kind of stuff, it's on all the channels. But we went, took a camera behind the scenes with Morgan and Gina, and just kind of giving a little tour of here's where the desk used to be. And, honestly, I was looking for Lance and Dave when I was in there, but they have one pad that's on this post inside the studio. And they said this is the only thing that was left from the Channel 5 Memphis Wrestling days. And I thought that was kind of cool that they still had that pad in the studio. But you'll be able to see that. Like, if you guys are at work listening to this, then you can obviously watch it on social media. We're going to be putting it out there as soon as the videos are released if you miss it live. But it was a really cool experience, especially for Mackenzie Morgan. She's 21 years old, man.
What?
She's had like 40 matches. Yeah, and so she's doing it up big. She was a part of the Monday Night Raw a couple weeks ago here in Memphis. She was booked to be there. So getting some opportunities and knocking them out of the park.
And then Monday Night Raw, when it was here, wasn't the championship match was 2 females?
Oh, yes, main event. So we also had the women's division main event on our premiere on Action News 5 Plus. First time it's ever happened that an all-women's main event was on television on Channel 5, because all those years, WMC aired Memphis Wrestling. Some of the greatest moments, arguably in the history of wrestling, that made WWE come up with ideas like the Andy Kaufman stuff. All that stuff was shot inside that studio, and so for us to be able to do something on day one that had never been done before, I thought was kind of interesting and fun, and especially to crown a new champion too. But yeah, on Raw they had all women's main event there. It was a Falls Count Anywhere match. They went through tables and everything.
Yeah, I thought, did she beat her with also like a pole?
Yeah, I don't know. They used everything. An interesting part about that match is in the background, and again, this is pulling the curtain back, you can see Tim Bosby and you can see Nix, who are both awesome competitors on Memphis Wrestling, but they were planted back there in the seats just in case something happened. So that way you have more wrestlers around, especially when they're fighting near the crowd or going through a table near the crowd or whatever. So they strategically set people up around there, just for a little extra protection and just in case something happens type of thing.
Nice,
so that's a cool little thing, yeah.
Now, another cool little thing, don't y'all got a little Dyers County Fair Memphis Wrestling thing coming up Saturday?
Well, it's actually a big Dyer County Fair thing. So, man, I'm telling you, this is our 3rd year in a row going to Dyersburg for the Dyer County Fair. It's very similar to like Mid-South Fair, where wrestling used to be a part of it, many years ago, and now this is our 3rd year coming back. They had us on a Friday night, and then they had us early on a Saturday the last year, and it's grown so much over the last 2 years that now we're like the main event Saturday night at Dyer County Fair. So it's going to be a ton of fun. We got a full card. you don't have to pay extra to watch wrestling. If you go to the fair, I think, what is it, $10 to get in or something? You get to take advantage of all the entertainment, and right there, 7 o'clock bell time will be Memphis Wrestling front and center. And so you'll be able to see all the action that's leading up to it this Saturday on the show. Man, there's fights in the parking lot and all kinds of stuff coming up, man. It's going to be crazy. But it all culminates at the Dyer County Fair. And then for us Memphians who don't want to, it's about an hour and a half to Dyersburg, one of the biggest fairs in the state of Tennessee. But then we all remember growing up getting out of school.
Fair.
Yeah, for Fair Day and going to Mid-South Fair. And so big shout-out to Lander Center, Mid-South Fair. They're having Memphis Wrestling back for the first time in a long time. Johnny, I remember going to Mid-South Fair, getting out of school. It's a free day off called Fair Day for anybody that doesn't remember that. And then you go to the fair. I would immediately go look for the wrestling ring because I knew that USWA, Jerry Lawler, and those guys were there. You know, Lawler would have the crown and the championship belt, and you could take a picture if you caught him there. And, of course, he would be inside signing autographs and drawing pictures like he does at the Comic-Con. But I remember that as a kid growing up, and it went away. And so on Monday night, September 25th, Tommy Dreamer is coming with us, and Memphis Wrestling is coming back to the Mid-South Fair. And I think tickets, again, are only like $10, and you get to watch Memphis Wrestling, drink beer, eat a corn pup or whatever while it's going on. So we're looking forward to that. It's fair season, baby.
Yeah, man, if you're all up into the fair, like I said, man, it's just make sure Saturday, September 9th, you're in Dyersburg, and September 25th, you're here at the Mid-South Fair. Speaking of a lot of things that you're doing. I just also know, when's your next event?
The next event, this Saturday is the next event, but the next TV event at the Wrestle Center is September 17th. And I told you guys last week we were going to put a sale on 901 Day. The tickets, every ticket in the building, even VIP, flat rate of $9.01. We sold out of ringside
I bet
on
you
901 Day. So big thank you to the Memphis Wrestling fans. And one of the coolest parts about that is I think it gave a lot of people an opportunity to come, hey, I'm going to try them out. And because it was a lot of different faces or different names that I saw buying those tickets. And so there are still general admission available. So that's Sunday, September 17th. Two former WWE Tag Team Champions, JTG, he was formerly with Crime Time, very, very funny gimmick. And then also Fred Rosser, who was formerly known as Darren Young. I worked with him in the developmental system at WWE. He was tag team partners with Titus O'Neil, who is Thaddeus Bullard, who is a Florida Gators football Hall of Famer. So I got to tie that back into sports since you're on Sports Talk here.
I dig it,
Johnny.
Man, speaking of,
but anyway, some big time stars coming in on the 17th.
Man, also, you mentioned developmental. Y'all have the Wrestling Training Center. A lot of people come out there, and that's how they get started in this business. Curious, do you ever, because I know that The Rock played football at Georgia. Football players are usually pretty big dudes. Do you ever go out there and seek football players whose careers have just ended and they aren't going to that next level and playing in the NFL?
Anytime I'm around an athlete who is still relatively young, that can has that fire. Okay, so think of it. When you get out of high school, if you're a great athlete out of high school and you don't play in college, what do you do with that athletic ability? You just bottle it up. I guess it goes away. Or if you're fresh out of college or going to college and you're not going to be a professional athlete because the percentages are so low, what do? Do you just stop and you just start going to work your regular job? I mean,
no, because, man, if you don't
use
it, you lose it.
If you don't use it, you lose it, baby. Somebody that I've been trying to recruit for about 3 years is Will Coleman. I mean, dude, Will Coleman's like 6'4".
That would be awesome.
The Tiger.
Oh, man.
245.
Ooh.
Former Tiger. Man, are you kidding me? That dude wouldn't have to be with me very long. I would just teach him just a little bit, show him to WWE, and if they and trust me, man, WWE loves these former athletes like you're talking about because if you've already found success in something that's really hard and takes a lot of dedication, then they know you've got what it takes to make it in the WWE and put in that same amount of work. So somebody like Tim Bosby, who's 19 years old, number one in the state of Tennessee, I tell you about him all the time, they're looking at him like, wow, look at the potential that this guy could have. He's only 19. So they look at that, and former, number one in the state, Like, they always take that stuff into consideration for potential. But, man, yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense, by the way, to go after these athletes because, I mean, the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. And like you said, these people go out there, and if you're, you a great high school athlete or put in 4 years at a college or now it's 7 years, whatever, and you actually are committed, like you said, do you want that 9 to 5? Do you want to punch that clock? Or do you want something where you use your athleticism that's fun? But again, it is a hell of a lot of work.
I approach people, man, and I try not to be creepy about it because I am extremely happily married and do not want to get in any trouble with my Maria.
Don't want to give out them vibes.
If I'm at a gas station and I have a card, I'll say, hey, I just wanted to give you my card, Memphis Wrestling, and that way it's like, okay, he's not hitting on me or he's not, it's safe. And then I just say, hey, email me if you're interested in looking at wrestling. Because it is, I mean, I've approached somebody at FedEx Forum, a young lady that was, gosh, man, she had to be 6'5", and of course she played basketball. But there is nobody, even in the WWE, that's a female that's like 6'5". You know what I mean?
You know what? WWE needs to go after that Angel Reese girl down at LSU.
Hey, your One Twins are killing it right now. I saw an interview with
the
them.
Carpenter Twins.
Gosh. Yes, I saw an interview with them that one made the other quit playing basketball so they could go do some fun stuff. And it was a pretty good little interview.
Man, I told you to go after them. You remember that?
Well, I think they're out of the Memphis Wrestling price range at this point. They're with WWE.
Oh, no, yeah, but this was a while ago. Do you remember when I was like, have you heard of so-and-so? Yeah, but
you were all over that.
I was over that one, man. Hey, do me a favor. Tell everybody else what you're working on, what you got coming down the pipe, because I know wrestling isn't everything. I mean, you got to be getting ready to do a few other things.
Yes, actually, last week I was in a dunk tank for charity with the Memphis Redbirds on 901 Day, and I'm telling you, I don't think people had any more fun dunking me over and over and over again to see my hair wet. So that was fun. Redbird season is wrapping up. I got a text message yesterday that I've got 3 new pairs of shoes at FedEx Forum waiting on me. One of them is a brand new pair of 2-colored Ja Morant shoes.
Nice.
So I can't wait to go pick those up because that means the season is coming up. I know here within the next month there will be some photo shoots and probably some rehearsals, and so basketball is gearing up, and then Memphis Wrestling is just, we are announcing dates left and right. I mean, at this point on Facebook, I think in the last 28 days we've reached over 4 million people with Memphis Wrestling.
Did you say
is
4
that
million?
Ridiculous? 4 million people reached in a 28-day period on Facebook. It's ridiculous. So, gosh, I mean, thanks to all the fans. Even if they're going on there talking trash, I love that too.
Damn,
but
man.
Yeah, man, it's really cool stuff right now.
I'm gonna have to come out to that Wrestle Center and start getting involved, man. That's just stuff that's growing too big, and it just seems like you're having way too much fun over there. Tell everybody how they can make sure that they get tickets for their next event and where they need to show up at next.
We'll see you at the Dyer County Fair this Saturday. We'll see you September 17th at the Wrestle Center. All that information is at memphiswrestling.tv. And, of course, you can follow us on social media at mem_wrestling or at Memphis Wrestling. It's that simple. If you don't know how to watch Memphis Wrestling, go on YouTube, type in Memphis Wrestling. We come up first, and you'll see the playlist that has every single episode in full that you can watch absolutely free. Get caught up. Good stuff. We actually debuted our brand new Whoop That Trick Memphis Wrestling edition. So big shout out to Al Capone for cutting a brand new track for Memphis Wrestling. I'm going to send it to you.
Please
and if you want to play it, Johnny, you could play it.
Man, I will play it, man. Every time you come on, that's the way we're going to have to bring you in. Tell Al Capizzi I said what up. Be blessed, Dustin.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you next week.
That is Dustin Starr. We got to take a quick time out, but I got to remind you, man, if you're around Dustin or some big dudes like we're talking about, Memphis wrestlers, you probably need some protection. In fact, everybody out there needs protection. It doesn't matter if you're on the field, in the ring, or you're on the road. Bob Simpson at State Farm Insurance can buckle you up with auto insurance, back your life up with health insurance, cover your business, whether it's starting, growing, or maturing. And don't forget to insure your home, no matter if you're an owner or a renter. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Bob Simpson today, 901-381-1233, or go online and get a free quote at bobsimpson.org. Stay protected with your good neighbor, Bob Simpson. Back in 2 shakes. We got Rack City. We got to talk a little FIBA. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Want to play a private country club but only pay daily greens fees? Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis is your place. You can now play a beautiful, challenging course for only $59 plus tax, including cards. Meadowbrook Country Club features champion Bermuda greens and now is available to everyone. A membership is only $350 per month and includes tennis, pickleball, and swimming, plus a great restaurant and bar. Golf Pro Mark can even fix you up with custom-made tricks on clubs. Call 870-394-4186 today for your Tuesday through Sunday tee time at Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
AutoZone is more than a parts store. It's where we help you solve problems like, sorry I'm late, my battery died. And
I need a jump, again.
At America's #1 battery destination, you can find the right battery at the right price with options starting at only $89.99. And we offer free battery testing and charging whenever you need it. Get the parts and help you need to get the job done right at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out. Terms and conditions apply. Visit ISSA online for details.
Tired of the 9-to-5 grind? Looking for something different that's flexible, fulfilling, and pays well? How'd you like to get paid to work out? Now you can with ISSA, the global leader in personal fitness certification.
There's a huge demand for certified personal trainers right now. And once you get ISSA certified, they guarantee you'll get a job. Trainers can make as much as $200 an hour. Yes, I said $200 an hour. And with ISSA, you can be certified in as little as 4 weeks. Just text BENCH to 323232 now to get started for free. You do everything at your own pace and 100% online.
Pursue your passion in specializations like yoga, nutrition, or strength training. Live life on your terms. Get certified and train like you want. Start your own business, work at a gym, or make health and fitness your side hustle. Whatever works for you. Just don't wait.
Get started today and be certified in as little as 4 weeks. Just text BENCH to 323232 right now to get started for free. Text the word BENCH to 323232. Text BENCH to 323232.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Scooters Plus Parts, repairs, sales, and service, plus financing available. And they got all the options, man. If you're looking for golf carts, if you're looking for Spider trikes, Honey Star scooters, some four-wheelers, man, they got it all over there. They got the large heavy-duty ATVs. They got the side-by-sides. Man, I'm telling you right now, they also have the largest showroom around, and that showroom is open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. You need to also, if you need to just go in line and check out their inventory, you can go to scootersplus.us. That's scootersplus.us. And don't forget, if you're a gearhead, they got the parts. If you need to have some repairs, they have the best people over there. I'm talking about the best technicians who know everything about how to keep your bike or trike on the road and in the outdoors. Scooters Plus, 3425 Summer Avenue. Give them a call at 901-458-8843. Zach Boyd, what up, homie?
What it do, man?
Man, just chilling, man. Looking at a little NFL action this morning, finding out Travis Kelce hyperextended his knee. And I hate, this sounds so horrible to say. It sounds, this sounds so selfish for me to say. But last week, when the line was at 6.5, after, a little bad loss on Sunday when the LSU Florida State game, I started looking the NFL, and I went ahead and I pounded the Lions plus the 6.5, and it was because that offensive line should manhandle the Kansas City Chiefs defensive front and cause the linebackers all kinds of trouble because ain't no Chris Jones playing either because he's out.
Right.
Now you're telling me Travis Kelce might not play? That line's dropped all the way down to 4.5. I'm feeling pretty good about my play right now.
Yeah, initially you making it sound like like, oh man, like he tore his ACL. He's out.
No,
for the
amen. He
season,
did. No. The good news is right now he is going to have to get a little bit checked out. But right now, according to his brother Jason Kelce, who was on an interview this morning, he said his brother believed that the ACL was still completely intact and that he's just got a lot of fluid around it, and he believes it's just a hyperextension.
How about that? His brother being an insider.
Dude, his brother is a trip. Their show together is awesome.
Never listened to it.
You haven't? No. Man, you don't do the podcast thing? When
no,
you're like
I do.
Out?
That just doesn't sound intriguing to me.
Oh, man, Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce, I think are hilarious.
Yeah, no, they're a bunch of characters.
And they drop some very interesting information. Like, at least in my world, they do.
When I'm at the gym, I like listening to Jason Kelce's Christmas album.
He has a Christmas album?
Being serious?
I'm 100% serious.
He sings?
He sings. May your days be merry and what?
Man, you had a good mood. You sang some Tina Turner a little bit.
I drank some coffee earlier. Me and coffee, probably not a good
Jason
dynamic
Kelce.
duo.
Man, I'll tell you one thing, though. I did, speaking of singing, last little thing I got to do, check out what I got from Dustin Starr.
John, are we sure this is censored?
Yeah, baby. So I ain't singing,
risky game to play, playing an audio file on the radio. Very risky business.
I'm a gambling man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That you are.
Now, speaking of a gambling man, right now, are you feeling strong about the United States playing Germany in the semis? They have got one big issue, and it's not I'm blaming Jaren Jackson Jr. for anything. But they don't have a true five and a true center. And that's where it seems like it's kind of affected this team a little bit in this FIBA world because, there's some big dudes out there. Yeah. JV took, took the USA to task.
Literally. It was a problem.
They couldn't stop him.
At all. Jaren, picked up 2 fouls, immediately. And it was and everybody was, on him because, how are you going to get 2 fouls? I'm like, it's Jonas Valanciunas. Who are you expecting to not get fouled on? It's Jonas. You should know, every Grizzly fan should know this, that Jonas has a knack of getting guys into foul trouble. Mm-hmm. And especially ones like Jaren Jackson Jr., which I am very defensive of. He will put you in foul trouble. It's Jonas. Everybody should know this. I think, man, I'm still trying to figure out why they haven't gone to a much bigger front court, because initially it was Brandon Ingram, but then we kind of realized and kind of saw that Brandon Ingram, he's not really into playing basketball, Team USA basketball at the moment. So that really hasn't worked out. And then Josh Hart comes in, and it's they're beating their opponents, but it's still Josh Hart is 6'4", 6'5". And he's having to match up with a 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" power forward, and Jaren has to be stuck with a center.
Right now it looks. This is so. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Watching a little bit of that stuff, especially a few of the highlights, and again, this is going to sound horrible, but it looked like we had the junior varsity playing the varsity the other day.
It does. Like,
and Team USA has never been compared to as the JV team, but they just are small.
Right. And I called them the JV team, but I mean, this is Team USA's. I think I want to say their C or D team. Because all the elite
definitely their C team.
Yeah, so all the elite of the elites are just chilling at the crib, just watching.
But I'm going to tell you right now, like I don't think like if a LeBron James or a couple, Steph Curry was playing, I don't think it'd be any different.
Oh no,
you're going to have to bring somebody that's got some girth up under that joint.
Oh, for sure, or somebody that is.
Can we get Embiid to play for us?
I think he is. I think he's
he's going to play in the Olympics. He can play for either or.
He can make a decision at some point, but I know
somebody.
I know for sure. Like you can count on Bam, and I think AD next year. You can say AD is going to be on the team, and then what? And then you realistically
AD won't be playing much. He's always injured, and the Team
Whoa,
USA needs
John,
some junk in that trunk.
It's the offseason, John.
Well, just looking into the future of things, you guys. Just looking to the future. You're just hoping that AD could play for Team USA.
Yeah, theoretically speaking.
Yeah. But I know Miles Turner, he's played for I think he played in the FIBA tournament. I think he played for the main squad as well. So like, you can go at least 4 deep, with the bigs. It's just a matter of like which bigs you want to bring on the team, because you got a bunch of guys on the perimeter that you got to have on this squad. So it's like, it's kind of hard to kind of pick your best 12 when you need at least 3 good big men to kind of rotate, at least.
Yeah, you definitely do. One other thing, though, man, you surprised Germany, actually. I mean, did Team USA get lucky that they are playing Germany in the semis?
Yes.
Like, this is straight, because you feel like they're going to make it to the championship round, and it's because somehow Germany, who I'm very surprised is actually still here.
Yeah, and I think I didn't realize Germany have that many NBA players on the team, and this pretty much the story of
players.
Yeah, this is pretty much the story of FIBA, this entire tournament. Whoever has the most, basically the most cohesive NBA players and NBA talent on your team, typically going to win this tournament. So Canada, obviously, they're deep into it. Obviously, United States, Germany, they have both Wagner brothers, Dennis Schroeder and Daniel Theis, which I didn't know was I didn't realize Germany was that loaded. And then Serbia, obviously, Team Serbia, they've been playing basketball together for years. So it's like you kind of expect, okay, if you throw in a Jokic in there, then they could make something shake.
Yeah, they could.
So I think it's kind of funny. I was actually kind of upset that Australia didn't make a deeper run this year.
Oh, me too.
I
love that Australia squad.
Because usually Patty Mills this is his type of element. Just come in
and Giddy in there now. Woo.
Yeah, I know, man. This is usually his element. But I was actually kind of surprised.
What Luka get ejected out of the game for?
He was arguing for a foul call.
So Canada worked over Serbia, didn't they?
Yeah, maybe. Or Slovenia.
No, I think
they played Slovenia.
Slovenia, that's right. Yeah. I had Jokic in my head.
It's okay. They all kind of close.
Happens, John. They all start with an S.
They're all in there.
All right there, yeah.
Susie, Sarah, whatever. Sharon, cool, whatever.
Yeah, no, but yeah, like they gave like Canada. Like I said before this tournament started, Canada was going to be a problem because they got a lot of young dudes that can play, and you're seeing that now. Like they got a bunch of dudes that you recognize and that you know that they can play some basketball.
Yeah, Mr. Gillis-Alexander.
Oh, yeah.
Nasty.
And Walker Alexander as well.
Nasty.
Squad.
That's
got a squad.
Man. That's it. They got a whole squad. And this is what you kind of expect over the years when Team USA has been that dominant and the NBA has turned into a global sport. Like this what happens when you got other countries willing to bring their best of the best to play in the NBA, and then they represent their country.
Well, hopefully Team USA makes it to the championship game. I think they're going to take care of Germany. But we're about to switch gears because we only have to go to bed one more time, and then bing, bang, boom, the NFL season's here. One more sleep.
One more.
That's it.
You got your fantasy team?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. You know how for some reason I never think it's going to work. Like, I'm always so disappointed after the draft. I get so excited every single year.
Happens, John.
And then I can't get every damn player I want.
I'm just
that's
happy
how it works.
I'm just happy I didn't drafted Kelsey, Cooper Kupp, and
it'd be a rough first week.
Jonathan
Taylor. Oh boy.
Yeah, dude. If you had Jonathan Taylor and he's on the PUP list, feel bad for you. But a buddy of mine, like a person that my draft was before the Jonathan Taylor went on the PUP list. So luckily I just didn't get him. But afterwards, man, I talked to a buddy of mine that said they were picking up Jonathan Taylor like in the 16th round.
Yeah.
He's coming back in 4 weeks for somebody. Damn.
He is.
I was like take that risk, man.
No 4 weeks are
4 weeks too late. I mean, I'm trying to win now, not in 4 weeks.
Well, we're switching up gears because we got to talk with Russell Copeland on the NFL. Tell everybody where they can find you, Zach.
Rack City Zach on Twitter. Check out all of my work on tsdmemphis.com. Also on Twitter as well as the TSD Memphis on Twitter, Facebook, and on Instagram.
Man, don't y'all dare touch the dial. Cope is next. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Thunder in your ear.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Everyone agrees that 117 Prime is Memphis's premier downtown dining experience. But what if you could go one step further and have 117 Prime at home? As hard as it is to believe, 117 Prime, which features some of the best food in Memphis, is available for curbside or takeout. Imagine just swinging by Prime and picking up not just something good, but something great. 117 Prime makes the best steaks in Memphis, and you could eat it in your living room. The best food in Memphis, enjoy the way you really want to. Pantsless.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way. Offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch has an offer you can't refuse. They will pay you to do business with them if you want luxury. And I'm talking the Genesis G70 car. If you would love to have that kind of new technology, they will give you a $1,000 rebate when you finance with Genesis Motor Finance. In other words, they'll pay you $1,000 to do business with them, and you get brand new luxury. You can't beat it. That's Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis, right at the corner of Craft Road and Highway 78 in Olive Branch. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch, where customer retention is amazing. There's a reason. They take care of you with a team that's been together for a long time. Whether it's finance or whether it's service, you can't beat them. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Want to play a private country club but only pay daily greens fees? Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis is your place. You can now play a beautiful, challenging course for only $59 plus tax, including cards. Meadowbrook Country Club features champion Bermuda greens and now is available to everyone. A membership is only $350 per month and includes tennis, pickleball, and swimming, plus a great restaurant and bar. Golf Pro Mark can even fix you up with custom-made tricks on clubs. Call 870-394-4186 today for your Tuesday through Sunday tee time at Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
I have this one little saying, when things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy Johnny Radio. Brian Dacus has been hanging out with me all day long, all day strong. A little after 12:30, you know what we're going to do? A little bit of Hardwood. We got some great, funny, crazy stories out there going on. But right now, it's time to talk a little NFL action with our good buddy Russell Copeland. Yes, we only have to go to bed one more time. Once we go to sleep and we wake up tomorrow night's the real deal. We got one sleep left in us. The NFL season starts. You got the Lions, you got the Chiefs, and it's time to talk a little college football with our good buddy Russell Copeland. Cope, what's up, my friend?
What's going on, Johnny?
Man, I am just chilling, talking to you and hearing your voice. I know football is back. If you don't know Russell Copeland, man, I don't know where you've been. He played here at the University of Memphis. He played for the Buffalo Bills. He played in the NFL for a long time, and he played in a Super Bowl. Cope, you ready to talk a little NFL action?
Man, excited. It's, the 2023 season is here. I think it's a highly anticipated season on so many different levels. A lot of different moving pieces in the off season. We got to talk about the Jets, of course, with Aaron Rodgers and all of those moves. You look at the rookies that are coming in, anticipation with them as far as them going to teams and see if they can immediately impact their teams. And hopefully they can get into some division runs and win that division. You look at Sean Payton, the Broncos. Russell Wilson will definitely talk about that. But there's a lot of anticipation for this 2023 season.
Man, and it's kicking off tomorrow night, Lions and the Chiefs. And there's a lot of crazy things going on with this game right now, especially some bad news for the Chiefs. Chris Jones, of course, is still holding out. He's the anchor at the defensive line. And now Travis Kelce, my man who's always there. He's always Patrick Mahomes' number one guy. He right now has a little bitty little knee issue. Good news is they don't believe that the ACL has any issues at all. They think that it's intact. But he believes he hyperextended his knee. How do you feel if this game is going to play out? And don't forget also, it's not just the fact that Travis Kelce's there, not going to play Chris Jones. Eric Bieniemy, who's been calling those plays for a long time, is not on that sideline as he's in Washington. Should Chiefs fans be worried?
Well, Johnny, I don't think they should be worried because you still have Andy Reid and you got Patrick Mahomes. But when you look at the defensive side, I think Chris Jones is right behind Aaron Donald as the best defensive interior lineman in football. I think there is room to be concerned because you're playing against a Detroit Lions team that they're not a surprise anymore. They have a lot of weapons offensively, defensively. They've been picking in the top 2 or 3 every year. So I think that's an area of concern, especially when you look at Travis Kelce, the health of Travis Kelce, and you look at your defense being able to put pressure on the quarterback. So long term, I would not be worried. Short term, I would be concerned.
How good can this Lions team be, and do you think that they get over on the Chiefs in game number 1?
Well, I've been on a winning streak here lately, picking upsets by picking Colorado, beating TCU, picking Duke over Clemson, and I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. I love what the Detroit Lions have been able to assemble. When you talk about Deion Sanders in Colorado, how his team loves him, how his team will run through a brick wall for him. Well, the same thing applies for Dan Campbell and Detroit Lions. I love what they have offensively. Marvin Jones Jr., Amon-Ra St. Brown is a budding star. Josh Reynolds is back. You got David Montgomery from the Chicago Bears, and you got the electrifying rookie from Alabama, Jahmyr Gibbs. Offensively, they will be able to score a lot of points. And we talked about Chris Jones not being able to put the pressure on the Kansas City Chiefs. And you look over the Chiefs over the past couple of seasons, 3 or 4 seasons, their defense has been an Achilles heel. They played well last year, a lot better than they had before in previous seasons. This is the reason why I'm picking the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think after they're shredded by Goff in this game, I think they immediately go and try to get this contract taken care of with Chris Jones.
Yeah, getting worked in week 1, you'll go over there and you'll get that contract, and you'll make sure your big defensive tackle who's sacked more people than, coming up the middle than anybody in the league the last 4 seasons. You'll get him back in there. I believe that's a way to get a contract done. AFC is an absolute beast on paper. I mean, just start with the East. I'm kind of curious. The Jets and the Bills, they open up the season, play each other. Do you think the Jets are going to be a boom or a bust? Which team do you believe in more, the Jets or the Bills?
Well, I definitely think the Jets are going to be a boom. I think they have taken a blueprint out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. When you look at Aaron Rodgers, all the pieces are put together for him. You got Nathaniel Hackett, who was his offensive coordinator in Green Bay. You bring over Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb. You have the offensive rookie of the year coming back in Garrett Wilson. McCole Hartman Jr., the speedster from the Chiefs, he's there. And you just signed Dalvin Cook as Breece Hall recovers from his ACL. So I think they'll definitely be competitive in that division. They'll give the Bills a run. But as far as the Buffalo Bills, I'm leaning towards the Buffalo Bills still to win that division. I think Sean McDermott has done a tremendous job. You still got Stephon Diggs. You got Davis as a wide receiver. So overall, I think the Buffalo Bills, they have the nucleus offensively and defensively, and getting Von Miller back at some point in time in the season will be there. Yes, and you have Josh Allen still leading the ship. But I tell you what, that window for the Buffalo Bills is diminishing. I think the division now is going to be getting closer to them. You look at the Dolphins as well, and I don't think New England is going to continue to sit down last. I think they'll be competitive this year, but that window is closing. They've been knocking on the door. To me, this is boom or bust for the Buffalo Bills. They have to be able to win the division and hopefully get to a Super Bowl. So I still like the Bills, but the Jets will be climbing along with the Dolphins.
Man, when you talk about that AFC East, again, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Pats, the Jets, it's just a beast. You look at the AFC North with the Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and Steelers. Everybody said the West was the best last year. Chargers are up and coming. Kansas City's the defending champs. Can Sean Payton, revive Russell Wilson? Which division do you think's the toughest in football to win this year?
I'm going to go with the AFC East, but it's really close with the AFC North. The AFC East, we just talked about the AFC East with the Bills, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Patriots. But when you look at that AFC North, what the Cincinnati Bengals have been able to do the past 2 or 3 years has been tremendous. They've been to an AFC championship the past couple of years, went to the Super Bowl a few years ago, lost to the Rams. But I think the Baltimore Ravens is going to be right there to compete. And there's a question mark when you look at the Cleveland Browns. How good can the Cleveland Browns be? But I like this AFC North. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they're going to be really, really competitive. They're going to be right there and compete for that division. When you look at Mike Tomlin, he's never not made the playoff game. So those two divisions for me are really close. I'm going to say the AFC East since you have Aaron Rodgers now in that division, but I love the AFC North as well.
Me too, man. I think it's absolute beast, and I'm kind of curious about one team in that North. When right now everybody's really kind of focused in on the Bengals. I hear a lot of chatter about the Steelers, that defensive front. Kenny Pickett's a lot better. Hey, can Deshaun Watson, with that huge investment the Browns gave him, be them that guy? But Lamar Jackson's got his bag. He's got a new offensive coordinator in Todd Monken. He's finally got some dead-gum actual wide receivers to go along with those running backs and tight ends. Could this be the year for Lamar Jackson to finally get that done, and people better watch out?
I think this is the year. Lamar Jackson has also been knocking on the door. And you talk offensively, he has not had the wide receiver weapons. And if you look at him throwing, I think he's much better than what people say. He's above average passer. When you look at his history, when you look at what he's thrown for, the touchdowns, the 400-yard games, the perfect games as far as a quarterback, the QBR, he's definitely done it. Now when you get Odell Beckham Jr. back, it doesn't have to be the Odell Beckham Jr. of old. He'll definitely fit in place because you got Zay Flowers, first-round pick, and then you got Rashad Bateman a couple of years ago with the first-round pick to go along with Mark Andrews. They'll be competitive. They'll be ready to challenge the Cincinnati Bengals. And defensively, it's a black and blue division. They'll definitely be there. I think I may let the cat out the bag. I have the Baltimore Ravens representing the AFC in the Super Bowl.
I'll tell you this, man. I'm serious as a heart attack. I look at that Ravens team, and you talk about how in the past they didn't have those weapons outside. Now they don't. I mean, they have the fastest quarterback in the world in Lamar Jackson. They got a stable of backs in J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. But now you got Rashad Bateman, who's a speedster, Devin Duvernay, speed, Zay Flowers, speed, OBJ coming back to be, that veteran guy who runs the right routes, has solid hands, plus Mark Andrews. Like, I look at that offense and I say to myself, damn, I don't know how that thing's going to be stopped.
Absolutely. And I think you can say this for every team, but I think the only thing that can derail this train, it's going to be injuries. If Lamar Jackson can stay healthy, if you look at what he's been able to do as a passer, he's gotten better. Now you have weapons for him. He does not have to run the football. Now, if you have those weapons covered, he still has that speed to be able to run. So it's going to be really tough for defenses to be able to stop this new face of the Baltimore Ravens.
Do you think Deshaun Watson can ever give the Browns basically back what they paid for? Do you think he can lift them out of quarterback purgatory?
Johnny, it depends on what expectations did the Browns pay for. If you're talking about winning a Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson, no. If you're talking about Deshaun Watson being a really good, solid quarterback, yes, and helping to compete for division titles, but it's going to take more than that to win the division besides Deshaun Watson. You're going to have to continue to get help around him. You're going to continue to have to get him some wide receivers. And the defense has to continue to be the type of defense. So I think it's a part A and a part B. Is he going to be a solid quarterback? Yes. Did you pay for him to beat Joe Burrow and to beat Lamar Jackson on a consistent basis? The answer to that question is no.
It's going to be a fascinating year. I'll tell you one thing, that black and blue division of the AFC North is going to be a beast. Now, over the West, last year everybody thought that was going to be the toughest division in football. The Raiders were, disappointing. Chargers made it to the playoffs, completely collapsed against the Jags in the second half. And then Denver was just straight trash. Kansas City, of course, won it all. Well, Denver brought over Russell Wilson. They bring in Sean Payton to try to rectify his career. Kansas City, you're scared of them. We'll see what happens with Jimmy G and the Raiders. And now the Chargers, they brought over Kellen Moore to help, I think, Justin Herbert get more vertical. Who you have winning the AFC West division?
Well, I think it's a two-team race. I don't think the Raiders are going to get it done. I don't have them winning 6 games. I think it's going to be between the Chargers and the Chiefs, and I really want to pick the LA Chargers. But it's just something about the Chargers. I mean, you look at them year in and year out from a roster standpoint, from a quarterback standpoint, offensive and defensive, they're there. Either they start off slow from the gate or they falter in the end, just like we saw them falter in the playoffs. I'm going to say the Chiefs, but, man, I really love on paper what the Chargers have.
Me too.
You got Austin Eckler, man. You got Mike Williams. You got Palmer also is a third receiver. You got Gerald Everett. You got Keenan Allen. You picked the first rounder out of TCU, the wide receiver, Quentin Johnson. But defensively is where I think this team has to earn their money. You got Sebastian Joseph Day. You got Joey Bosa. You got Eric Hendricks. You got Khalil Mack. J.C. Jackson from New England Patriots a couple years ago was the top cornerback in free agency. He was hurt last year. He's back healthy. You got the best safety in the National Football League in Derwin James Jr. And Asante Samuel shows what type of cornerback he is, getting 3 picks last year in the playoffs. The defense is where this team has to make a move. If this defense can gel and come together, they have a really good chance of knocking the Chiefs. But to answer the question, Johnny, I still think it's the Chiefs. Just too many question marks about when you look at the Chargers. And the question mark for me is Brandon Staley. It's Brandon Staley, the coach, for all of these weapons offensively and defensively. And we saw how that team was up 30 points and ended up losing to Jacksonville Jaguars. And I thought Brandon Staley should have gotten fired. Instead, he fired his staff, and he went out and got Kellen Moore offensively as far as the offensive coordinator. We'll see how Brandon Staley is able to mesh and put this team together and see if they can finally get up to expectations and knock off the Kansas City Chiefs.
And it's going to be a fun season, and I'm just kind of wondering, though, how fun is it going to be in Denver? Is this relationship with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton going to work? I thought it was very interesting today. Seth Wickersham from ESPN, he put out an article, and he basically said that Sean Payton told Russell Wilson that if he wanted to salvage his career, he needed to focus more on football and not on Russell Incorporated. He also said, will you effing stop kissing all the babies? You're not running for public office. You're a quarterback. So is this going to work?
I think Sean Payton is the future. But, when I look at that, Sean Payton and Russell Wilson definitely going to have some closed office meetings because he's trying to light a fire under Russell Wilson. And Sean Payton understands the culture in Denver, and he knows what it's going to take for Denver to be able to compete, and they have to have a solid quarterback. Will Russell Wilson be the quarterback that we've seen so many years in Seattle? Definitely not. He's on the downside of his career. But he does not need to turn the football over, and I don't think he'll play as bad as what we saw Russell Wilson last year. I think Russell Wilson played so bad, I had to really look at the television and make sure that it wasn't a commercial. It wasn't something going on. Is this really Russell Wilson, how bad that he's playing? I think he'll be the type of quarterback that gets the football out of his hands and get it into his weapons. But to answer the question, does it work? I don't think so. I think this probably may be the last year that Russell Wilson is there, and Sean Payton will have to go out and either draft a quarterback or try to see if he can find a free agent quarterback that's out there, make a trade for something like that. You look at quarterbacks that's in Dallas, you look at Cooper Rush, someone like that to light a spark. I think he'll be average at best when you talk about Russell Wilson at the quarterback position.
Man, speaking of quarterbacks, we got some new blood coming in this year. We got 3 rookies going to be starting. You got Anthony Richardson with the Colts, Bryce Young with the Carolina Panthers, and C.J. Stroud with the Texans. Which one of these rookies is going to have the best year?
Johnny, I like all 3 of these rookies. I think they'll all have some high points this year, and they'll have some low points this year. And C.J. Stroud, I love what the defense that the Houston Texans have put together with D'Amico Ryan. So they'll definitely help him with defensively. He'll get the ball on the short side of the field. But when it all comes down to it, I'm going to say Anthony Richardson. When everything comes even and you're struggling, you have some high points, I think his athleticism will be able to get him over some of these humps. So I'm going to say Richardson has the best year. At Carolina, I just think blocking-wise, they're going to have to be able to shore up their offensive line for Bryce Young. I looked at him in the preseason. He was sacked a couple of times. Yeah, and he was able to get up. But when you look at a 17-game season, and now you have your starters that are going to be in the game for 4 quarters each and every week, he cannot afford to be able to take those shots. And that was a big question for me coming in with his size, his durability, and how they're going to shore up that offensive line. But I say Richardson edges out C.J. Stroud.
Man, oh man, oh man. Anthony Richardson running wild over in Indianapolis. I think it would also help, though, Anthony Richardson, he did have a crazy owner. Like, put Jonathan Taylor on the PUP list. Like, what helps a rookie quarterback better than just being able to hand the ball to Jonathan Taylor? Like, I just feel like that was such a dumb move by Jim Irsay.
What's really wild and crazy about that is that Jonathan Taylor's in his rookie year contract, and you look at, all the carries he's had, you look at the yardage that he's had. But when Irsay tried to trade him, Irsay said he did not get the type of compensation that he was looking for. And I said, what? I said, well, that's the same thing that Jonathan Taylor is saying to you. For all the work that he has been able to do, you're not taking care of him leading into his rookie year. So that was kind of crazy for me. But like you said, you have to have a running game to be able to help this rookie quarterback, and it would have been really dynamic to have Jonathan Taylor back healthy, mentally into the game, and then you have Richardson able to break outside the pocket. That would have been something that definitely could have propelled Richardson to have a really good, solid rookie campaign.
Everybody looks at the AFC North and feels like that's a much stronger division. They look at the quarterbacks with Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert. We can do this all day long. Trevor Lawrence. But over in the NFC, Dak Prescott's got a lot of heat around him. It feels like always, having that star on your helmet, you get more heat. But, who's the best quarterback in the NFC?
Without hesitation, without pause, is Jalen Hurts. What Jalen Hurts was able to do last year, getting Brown in the trade from the Titans, how they were able to run the football consistently, it is him. And also with his defense, you look at all the pieces that they're constantly putting on the defensive side. I think you got 4 or 5 former Georgia Bulldog players. That defense is coming. It'll definitely help him on the offensive side of the football. They can control the clock by running the football. They also can throw the football down the field. You have weapons outside. You have a really good, solid tight end. It is Jalen Hurts, without a question.
Nick Sirianni is just an absolute, the way he's done it, the coaching job he's done in Philadelphia for only a few years is unbelievable. But, dude, Howie Roseman, the GM for Philadelphia, the guys he brought in, getting A.J. Brown, believing in Jalen Hurts, them, letting Nick Sirianni coach them up. That combination of Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni is one of the best in football.
It definitely is. And Howie Roseman has been playing chess while a lot of other franchises have been playing checkers. And, you look at some franchises, you look at the Rams. They decided to go all out. They won a Super Bowl. Now you look at that team, they're rebuilding. But what they've been able to do with the Eagles, they've just constantly been putting pieces together. And finally, I think it's the Eagles' time. You saw what they were able to do last year. A lot of questions about Jalen Hurts. I think he answered a lot of those questions. It's going to be tough coming back this year. They have a tough schedule. But as I talked about, offensively and defensively and special teams, they're very solid. They'll be ready to win their division again and compete. So now I'm going to take the cat all the way out of the bag. I've got the Baltimore Ravens going against the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Man, oh, man, that's what I'm talking about. Copeland, man, I could do this all day long. We're going to do it every single Wednesday off football season. We only got one more sleep before football gets here. Thank you so much. Be blessed, and I'll talk to you again on Wednesday, my friend.
Thanks, Johnny.
That is Russell Copeland, NFL wide receiver, played in the Super Bowl, and, of course, Memphis Tiger legend. You know what else is legendary? Frontier Western Store. Telling you, when I was down in Oxford for in the Grove, I think every single woman stopped by Frontier Western Store. They all had their cowboy boots on. They all had their pretty white dresses. They have a ladies' boutique at Frontier Western Store at 5880 Goodman Road. It's down in Olive Branch. If you want to style and profile, head on down there. They can dress you head to toe, and especially in all the fall fashions. They got sales every day. You need to check it out. You can also shop online at Frontier Western Store. And don't forget, men, they got you covered with all the jeans that you need, Rocky, Wrangler, Air Yacht, plus the ladies, Girly Girl, Miss Me, and they have the kids covered. So, again, your whole family covered from head to toe in style. 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch, or online at frontierwesternstore.com. Hardwood on the other side, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
A cold shower is no way to start your day. Purchase a new water heater from the pros at Conway Services, and you may be eligible for up to $2,000 in federal tax credits. Call 384-3511 to schedule your appointment. Visit conwayservices.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 64210, 64365 EAS, MS 19688.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
NFL opening night is coming, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is hooking new customers up with a can't-miss offer. New customers, please download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code HERD, H-E-R-D, to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Wow, that's the code HERD, H-E-R-D.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Want to play a private country club but only pay daily greens fees? Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis is your place. You can now play a beautiful, challenging course for only $59 plus tax, including cards. Meadowbrook Country Club features champion Bermuda greens and now is available to everyone. A membership is only $350 per month and includes tennis, pickleball, and swimming, plus a great restaurant and bar. Golf Pro Mark can even fix you up with custom-made tricks on clubs. Call 870-394-4186 today for your Tuesday through Sunday tee time at Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis. Hi, everyone. Greg Gaston for FanDuel. Add a little excitement to your sports watching experience by betting on all the action on FanDuel Sportsbook. There's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Their app is simple to use. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique fun bet types like same-game parlay, and exclusive always-on promotions such as enhanced odds boosts on the biggest events to let you get more action out of every game day. And if you win, they even get you your winnings safely in as little as 24 hours. If you've never tried FanDuel Sportsbook, what are you waiting for? Just go to FanDuel.com, use Gas Manager promo code to get in on the action. All in an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Just go to FanDuel.com, again, use Gas Manager promo code to join now or sign into your FanDuel Sportsbook account. Must be 21 or over, present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit is required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call Tennessee Redline at 1-800-889-9789.
Nothing says summer like an ice-cold Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Smooth, refreshing, real brewed tea with 5% alcohol. Look for Twisted Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted!
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Brian Dake is hanging out with me, man, and I'm just telling you I'm fired up because we got a little hardwood. We got Aaron Rodgers seeing things. We got Tom Brady is now repping Delta. It's a whole story I got to tell because I told a story about Delta yesterday. Now they're coming back with the Tom Brady a little higher. Weird stuff because, Tom Brady flies private. I don't think my homie's flying on no Delta Airlines.
Probably not.
But they're going to be sponsors. We're going to get into all the Hardwood stories and so much more. But I have to remind you, any house, any area, as is, it's as simple as that. If you want to sell your house in a flash, call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at iBuy Houses. Bing, bang, boom. I just sold your house. You heard that right. Any house, any area, as is, as simple as that. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. What's the number? 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at iBuy Houses. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Do you remember the story I told you yesterday? Or you weren't here yesterday.
I wasn't here yesterday.
Did you hear about the Delta Airbus 350?
Oh, yeah. No, I was sitting
that departed Atlanta.
I heard about this. I also saw a video of it.
It was horrible. This guy...
I think it was a girl. I think it was a woman.
Oh, man.
I think. I shouldn't say that because I don't know. I'll look it up.
Look it back up because then I just tell you something. I couldn't really look at the video.
No. This wasn't a video of it actually happening. This was
good.
This was a video of it after. I guess somebody was getting off the plane or something and took a video of it.
Golly, I just assumed it had to be a male.
It might have been. I just thought I read that it was. It really doesn't matter who it was.
Yeah, it does. Whoever it happened to. I think they need to be have a. You need to make sure somebody's with them at all time. They don't, because that's some seriously bad, that's some trauma right there.
Poor guy
if you don't know what happened, Delta, the little plane guy who flies that giant, actually who just likes to talk on the microphone and says, fasten your seatbelt, we're getting ready for takeoff. Of course, when they're taking off, they go up in the air, and they don't let you go to the toilet when they're taking off, right?
That's right.
They'll be like, sit back down.
A lot of turbulence.
Sit back down. So, my man or woman just sat there and pooped his pants.
Yeah.
So bad that they had to turn around and go back to Atlanta because they considered it a biohazard.
Maybe drink a little too much coffee.
I don't know. Whatever they did, it was bad. But I told this story yesterday, okay? And then I went home. And again, I guess the whole point of me bringing it back up in today is Tom Brady has now started a new deal with Delta. He's got a multi-year deal that he's going to basically be promoting. Delta, people are driven by their commitment to the world-class performance, excellence, and a desire to achieve best-in-class results. Bringing a leader like Tom onto the Delta team furthers our mission to connect to the world while accelerating our drive. Man, what kind of, Tom Brady doing a Delta commercial ain't gonna, make me want to go fly Delta.
Huh.
It just don't work.
So you're completely out after this.
So I just find that you're just throwing money away putting Tom Brady. Who gives a damn? But this is the whole point I wanted to get to. So I told this story yesterday.
I can't find if it was male or female.
Well, I came home yesterday, and when I got off work, I saw Chas, and she goes, "Oh my gosh." She's like, "John, you won't believe this. I had a horrible flight experience once too."
Oh,
And
really?
I was like, you pooped your pants?
Gross.
And she was like, no. And I was like, good, because if she did, honestly, I think that's grounds for breaking up at this point, right?
I mean, that seems a little harsh.
I don't know, bro. Like, listen, yes, we've had a good 3-year little run and everything, but if I found out you pooped your pants on a flight, I don't know, man. I would have to say I'm sorry, but no. Now, point is, she didn't do that. But she said that one time she was on a flight, and she's like, they just took off, and they hit some turbulence, like you said, and it made her stomach really uneasy. She said she felt like she was going to vomit, so she stood up to go back to the lavatory.
And they said, sit down.
One of the ladies was like, sit down, and she's like holding over her mouth. She said she knew she was going to puke, and then guess what happened?
She did it.
She did it all over the lady.
Oh, man. Oh, that's awful. For both parties.
For both parties.
Man, that's awful.
Like, listen, if somebody's going to the lavatory during takeoff and there's turbulence and they got their hand over their mouth, you might want to get out of the way. It's called reading people's body language. You would think if you were a flight attendant, you can do that. I mean, do you know if I want a beer or a Sprite without asking me? Well, you should.
Read your mind, why don't you?
Read my mind. I mean, man, be on top of your game. But man, could you imagine puking on a lady in front of everybody on a plane?
No, that sounds awful.
Now, this was back in when she was 20, so this was 25 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Oh, now she's really going to kill me.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Playing,
I'm just kidding. It was
playing
10
risky
years ago.
games, John.
But they
risky
didn't turn
games.
around. They didn't turn it around.
Good.
And she said after she puked on the lady, she felt very, very, and she also cried.
Gross.
Chaz said that she told the lady she was profusely sorry, sat in her seat and cried for 20 minutes because she felt so bad.
Well, I'm sure she had a change of clothes.
The other lady?
Yeah. Maybe.
Man, this is a bad day. Now, speaking of flights, are you ready for this?
Sure.
These aren't real flights, I don't believe, but do you know who Aaron Rodgers is?
I do.
Have you heard of him? He plays quarterback in the National Football
I
League.
think
good.
I think I've heard of his name before, but I don't know.
What team's he going to play for this year?
I think he's going to USC this year. Going to be the starting quarterback at USC.
Well, he's a New York Jet, and for some reason,
we must be talking about different Aaron Rodgers.
My man, on the last episode of Hard Knocks, basically let everybody know that he's been seeing things before he ever started dabbling in psychedelics.
Oh, like
he said
ghosts.
He has seen a UFO, and he said it wasn't just a UFO. It was like a scene out of Independence Day. He was like, up in the clouds, we heard this sound, and we saw this tremendously large object moving through the sky. It was like a scene out of Independence Day, man. And he kind of freaked out a little bit and talked about his UFO experience. Bro, have you ever seen a UFO?
Once.
Whoa, really?
No, I think it was a shooting star, but hey, it was bright and it was moving fast. Could have been a UFO.
Never seen a UFO. I've watched Ancient Aliens before. Very interesting little program.
I've never watched it.
Dude, some Giorgio Tsoukalis doesn't do it for you?
No.
Well, go ahead and get to your story that you're so excited to tell.
John, oh man. Now I know a lot of people listening, if they have listened to me before, listening in the afternoon, they're going to go, this kid, all he wants to talk about all day is the Seattle Mariners and the Charlotte 49ers. That's right, because those are great organizations. John, how much do you know about Biff Poggi, the new head coach at Charlotte?
I don't know.
John, I would run through a wall for this man. This man, quick backstory. John, he was he played football in college, decided after college that he was going to go coach high school football, as most former players do. But then his father-in-law said, hey, why don't you come to Wall Street and work the stocks? He said, sure, why not? So he became a hedge funder and is now a billionaire, a multi-billionaire. I think multi-millionaire. I think his net worth's like $5 million, I think I saw. I mean, has plenty of money, does not need to be coaching football. Started coaching high school football up in Baltimore, and then went on staff at Michigan before getting this job at Charlotte. He was the assistant to the head coach at Michigan, and I just read a story on The Athletic about him. People within the Michigan program said that you can look at all the players, you can look at Jim Harbaugh, you can look at all the assistant coaches, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. The reason that they turned that program around and went to the college football playoffs is because of Biff Poggi. They said that, New Jersey, or he's from Jersey, I think. Is like one of those tough guys. They said he would go up to Jim Harbaugh. People would be afraid, we can't go tell Jim Harbaugh that. We can't tell him anything. And Biff would go up to Jim and be like, look, I'm going to tell you something. Probably not going to be happy about it, but you need to hear it. And he'd tell it to Jim Harbaugh, and Jim Harbaugh would be mad for a second. And he'd be like, you know what? You're right, Biff. And so, a bunch of things that he did, helped this Michigan program. Even, we always hear about these Michigan has these beat Ohio State periods during practice every week where they're just, focused on beating Ohio State. That was a Biff Poggi idea. He told Jim Harbaugh that they needed to do that, and now they've done it. Now he's the head coach at Charlotte. They're starting on ESPN Plus a docu-series this year called Mining for Gold that is going to be like a Hard Knocks behind-the-scenes of Biff Poggi. Let me tell you, this Charlotte team might not be great this year. They might not go to a bowl game. They might only win a couple of games. You need to watch this show because Biff Poggi,
the most interesting man
John,
I'm pulled it up.
John, he is on the sidelines at Charlotte, the head coach of Charlotte, wearing a sleeveless cutoff shirt, a T-shirt.
Yes, in shorts.
Yes, John. I would
and it
die.
Just says, by the way, can I just tell you
Poggi.
something? It just says it's a literal white sleeveless T-shirt that he got for probably $8 at Target.
Yes.
And then somebody printed Charlotte football.
Yes,
on
and
it.
Because that's all he wears is his sleeveless cutoff shirts. They're now at the Charlotte.
Is that Fashion Week in Charlotte?
I guess so. But at Charlotte, at the bookstore, they're selling Charlotte football sleeveless shirts in honor of Biff Poggi. This guy, it was a sellout crowd last week against South Carolina State. This is a team that lost to multiple FCS programs in the past 2 to 3 years. He's turning it around in Charlotte, and people are excited. I'm telling you, I'm not sitting here saying Charlotte's going to be good. I'm just saying they're going to be fun to watch. He's fun to watch. His mantra is run the dang ball, and he does cookie reviews every once in a while.
So they went so far as to say that, what is it, Poggi? What's his
Poggi.
name? Poggi?
Yes.
What's his first name? Biff. Biff Poggi.
That's not his real first name, but he goes by Biff Poggi.
Biff makes me think of a movie with Michael J. Fox. What is it? Back to the Future?
Maybe.
You've never seen Back to the Future, Holmes?
No. But yeah, that is a Michael J. Fox movie.
Yeah, and I think the guy who's like the antagonist and the pain in the butt, his name is Biff.
Really?
Maybe, man.
I'll take your word for it, but I love Biff Poggi. His team has
is it Biff the Vampire Slayer?
That's a TV show, I believe.
Is it Biff the Vampire Slayer? It's Buffy.
Yeah, Buffy.
Oh, yeah. She was a cute little thing. Sarah Michelle Gellar. I actually remember her name. It's amazing what things that pop in my brain that I know where. But anyway, they said that Biff Poggi is Jim Harbaugh's consigliere.
Yeah, no.
And the most interesting man in coaching.
He is. By far, 100%. He said that he basically approaches it like it's a business because obviously he worked in Wall Street. He's like a very rich and very smart guy. So he goes about it like business. There's a story in there that they had hired a new offensive coordinator, but some of the position coaches were still there from the old offensive coordinator. And so there was division in the room. And he walked in and was like, all right, we got to get down to the root of this. So he had everybody sit down at the table and he said, we're going to say one thing about ourselves that not many people know that is not connected to football. And he goes, I'll start. And he said, I love my wife. I love my kids with all my heart. I love them more than I love myself. But sometimes I don't think I'm a good father. They started going around the room. He said all these big coaches, masculine men were weeping after they were saying their secret about him. Offense turned around after that. Biff Poggi, I'll run through a wall.
Dang, that's awesome. And by the way, my buddy Matt just texted and he says, yeah, dude, it's Back to the Future.
I'll take your word for it.
And the fact you've not seen Back to the Future
Never seen
kind of worries me. So
I'm not a movie
guy. Have you ever seen a Michael J. Fox movie? Have you ever seen Teen Wolf?
No.
Dude, he's a wolf and he plays basketball in high school.
I'm going to look up Michael J. Fox movies and I'll tell you if I've seen any.
Probably not. What are you, 20?
Oh, I've seen Stuart Little.
Can you, what?
Yeah, Stuart Little.
He's Stuart Little the mouse?
I think he's in Stuart Little. I don't know what he plays in Stuart Little, but I've seen it. Get off. Oh, and Stuart Little 2. Check it off.
By the way, also my buddy Matt says, whatever you do out there, You should party smarter. Get you a little Tipsy Tabs. I've talked about these bad boys before. You can get a pack of Tipsy Tabs. There's 100 milligrams of THC, but it's divided into 4 tabs. So you can take a half of a tab, and that's like 12.5 milligrams of the little Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, HHC. They got it all. Plus, they got great flavors: Banana Breeze, Blue Hawaiian, Pina Colada, Strawberry Daiquiri. Check them out at your local liquor stores. Healthier, safer, and just awesome. They're also keto-friendly, nut-free, vegan, and gluten-free. Keep that gluten out your diet, just like Tito's. When life hands you lemons, do you freak out? Do you fret? Do you stress? No, you just make a lemon drop. But you always make sure it's with Tito's handmade vodka, crafted and distilled right here in the United States. It's down in Austin, Texas, man. And it's the best vodka around because it's 6 times distilled. And then it's distilled in classic copper pots, giving it a very unique flavor, slightly sweet with a black pepper note, balancing everything out. Doesn't matter if you're crafting a cocktail or you're drinking it neat. Get your Tito's on today. We're back in 2 shakes to close things out. Get your bets ready. Pull out your pens, your pads, or open up your little app, because we're going to make some money on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli, with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
We said 1,500 hours.
Dax's hangar flies high thanks to his military precision.
Rob, you copy?
He wants to land some aircraft mechanics, preferably with a military background.
Okay, I wasn't aware of a new timeline.
Cancel. Stand by for new assignments.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch has an offer you can't refuse. They will pay you to do business with them if you want luxury. And I'm talking the Genesis G70 car. If you would love to have that kind of new technology, they will give you a $1,000 rebate when you finance with Genesis Motor Finance. In other words, they'll pay you $1,000 to do business with them, and you get brand new luxury. You can't beat it. That's Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis, right at the corner of Craft Road and Highway 78 in Olive Branch. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis in Olive Branch, where customer retention is amazing. There's a reason. They take care of you with a team that's been together for a long time. Whether it's finance or whether it's service, you can't beat them. Homer Skelton Hyundai Genesis.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's Bar.
Hi, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. Catering has been our specialty for almost 40 years. Corky's makes it easy for you to impress your guests at parties, family reunions, weddings, or just treating your hardworking employees to a great meal to say thank you. Let us do all the work and you take all the credit. We will come to your location, set up and serve your hungry guests an all-you-can-eat barbecue buffet starting at only $9.99 per person.
Corky's Barbecue.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Brian Dacus is hanging out with me. Big thanks to Russell Copeland, to Dustin Starr, to Zach Boyd, who joined us earlier. We've talked everything from the NFL to FIBA to a little wrestling. Now it's time to get a little baseball bet on with Brian Dacus. I was kind of curious, though. Did you know who hit their 400th career home run yesterday?
400th?
Career home run, yes.
I do not know, no.
Giancarlo Stanton, and you won't even believe this. He's the fourth fastest in Major League history with 400 home runs. He did it in 1,520 career games. He's up there with A-Rod and Mark McGwire. I don't know, for some reason damn, that was a quiet 400 home runs. I mean, they're loud. He hits it very, very far.
Well, I mean, he's being overshadowed by another hard-hitting home run guy up in New York. We forget about how stellar he was in Miami, though. What got him up to New York?
That's when he was Mike. Maybe that's what people like Mike and Giancarlo are the same dude.
Maybe.
No, it's weird. Hey, we got some day baseball going down. We got scores and all kinds of stuff. Did not find a game in the early rounds that I like. Right now, I wish I had the Brewers because they're up 3-1 on the Pirates. Twins, Guardians, bottom of the third. It's 1-0. We do have a 120 game, Giants and the Cubs, and a whole lot of other games. Dacus, did you find a game to play?
Well, I'm on Twins -1.5 right now. But really, these day games, I don't love a lot of them. Tonight,
I kind of like the Phillies. I like the Phillies versus the Padres.
What do you like about that? I was looking at that, but
Phillies have been playing good baseball,
okay.
And I know the line looks kind of crazy. But Michael Wacha, he's 11-2. He's been the best pitcher for the Padres this year. Blah, blah. But for some reason, they actually score for him. But Zach Wheeler has been the best pitcher, I think, in baseball in the National League since the All-Star break. I'm taking a Phillies team that's found their offense on the road against San Diego, and if I only have to lay 115, I can't not back Zach.
Yeah, that's not a bad bet. What about I'm kind of looking at this Dodgers-Marlins game later tonight. You've got Lance Lynn on the mound, which when you look at Lance Lynn, 10-10 with a 5.81 ERA, but that's a little deceiving since
Feast
joining
or famine.
Yeah, but since joining the Dodgers, 4-1 with a 3.57 ERA, definitely has some run support behind him now that he did not have with the White Sox earlier this year. So I don't know what the line is.
Dodgers -145.
I would maybe take that. Maybe even take a -1.5. On the other side for Miami, you've got a bullpen night, so you're going to go through a lot of pitchers. I would maybe even take maybe a run line on that.
Not bad, not bad. Now, I also want everybody to make sure that y'all know about this place, take care of this place, head to this place, and that's Hotsy Pressure Washer and Detail Supplies in Memphis. They take it all off, big or small, they can clean it all. They're the #1 cleaning and equipment provider, period. And again, they can clean your big rig to your back patio. Hotsy has the solution. It's from hot water and cold water pressure washers to industrial soaps and detail supplies. And also, for our Sports 56 fans, you get 20% off all their detail products. So don't miss out on this amazing deal. Call Hotsy today, 901-379-0550. That's 901-379-0550. Or visit their showroom. It's conveniently located at Austin P and I-40. Oh, my goodness. Now, there's another thing out there that I'm looking at, and that's the Orioles. Because do you know who they're playing?
The Angels, the latest game of the night, 8:30.
Man, I'm telling you, I don't go to bed early. I stay up late, man. And this Angels team has lost 5 straight games. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They don't even have major leaguers playing. It's it's a sad situation. And Baltimore, they're still fighting. They're only 3.5 games ahead of Tampa Bay over in the East, and the East is a beast. They got the best record in the American League. Another game that's minus 45, I kind of feel like taking.
Yeah, no, I could definitely get behind that for sure. I love the Orioles, and I'm not a huge fan of the Angels, so I would like to take that for sure.
All right, don't forget, though, people, tomorrow, it is the NFL. So you go to sleep tonight, you wake up, and NFL action will be that night, 7:20 on the NBC. The Lions, the line has dropped from 6.5 to 4.5. Why? Well, Travis Kelce, he doesn't have an ACL tear, but he does have a hyperextended knee. He has a boo-boo. He might not play, he might, but he ain't 100%. And if you look at that Chiefs wide receiving room, it is slim. Let's put it that way. If you don't got Kelce out there against this Lions team, I know Pat Mahomes is the best in the business. I don't think you have that chance. Plus, without big Mr. Chris Jones, Jahmyr Gibbs is coming straight downhill. And then Jerry Goff, a little play action, touchdown pass. And then Dan Campbell is biting off people's kneecaps when the game's over.
One more sleep, John.
I'm fired up for it.
I know you are.
NFL action's almost here. Don't y'all dare touch that dial, because later on this afternoon, you get more Adakis from 3 to 6 on Sports Time with Brett Norsworthy. Get out there, make the world a better place. We're going to see you on the flip side. Peace.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
5 Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5 Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5 Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5 Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5 Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5 Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5 Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
It doesn't matter if you're at the lake, if you're hunting, fishing, playing golf, or just playing around, Scooters Plus can hook you up with the mobility that you need. Scooters Plus has the largest vehicle and parts inventory in the Mid-South and the best service department. You can choose from ATVs, UTVs, golf carts, motorcycles, dirt bikes, trikes, scooters, and even electric bikes. Come in today to start or wrap up your holiday shopping with 25% down on Christmas layaways. Scooters Plus, 3425 Summer Avenue. Call Sam at 458-8843 or go online to scootersplus.us.
Nothing says summer like an ice-cold Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Smooth, refreshing, real brewed tea with 5% alcohol. Look for Twisted Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted!
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. Pick, that's unprecedented. Whiffing on a first-round pick happens all the time. That you get a franchise quarterback is really relevant, or the coach and GM lose their jobs.
A new day in the herd starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
You guys can laugh at me all you want.
This is The Herd.
Oh, yeah.
The Herd.
With Colin Cowherd.
I'm setting the tone.
Best show on radio. This is The Herd.
Broadcasting live from Los Angeles. The Herd with Colin Cowherd starts now.
Here we go. It is a Wednesday. We are live in Los Angeles, and it's The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be watching or listening, thanks for making us part of your day. Lots of choices. 1 hour from now.